Hey there, hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be showing 5 steps to do well with UGC/organic content on TikTok. So before I get into that, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Who am I? My name is Diego. I'm 19 years old, believe it or not, and I help scale e-commerce brands to new levels using organic and paid advertising strategies. So why should you trust me? I've been in this space for about 1.5 years now. I've helped businesses in the past. I even have a few case studies that I have in my previous videos. I've made social media accounts in the past that have done well on TikTok and Instagram. So I have a good understanding of the algorithm. So I guess you could say I have a good understanding of what I'm talking about. But I'm mainly going to be talking about TikTok organic and UGC content. So why TikTok? It's an untapped market. Not a lot of businesses or brands really are on TikTok. And I think that's something that you, if you're a business owner or trying to make a brand, I think that's something you could definitely take advantage of. It's the fastest growing platform, 8 new users a second, millions of users daily, billions of views per month. I mean, the numbers just speak for themselves, really. And there's lots of opportunity. Again, there's lots of ways you can really monetize yourself to grow on TikTok, whether it's through advertisements or through organic content. So I think that's something that you can definitely take advantage of. So why organic content? It's free, 5 times more conversions and engagements. 92% of consumers prefer it over branded videos and ads. And you get more output of content. You can release more content instead of just making 2 pieces of content for your ads. So let's start with these 5 steps now. So number one, choose your niche. Find a niche that suits your type of content and what you want to produce. I actually made a video on this earlier this week, I think, or last week. You can check that out, whether you're watching this on YouTube or my profile or Facebook or wherever place you're checking this out at. You can just hit on my profile and find it through there. If you can't find it, just message me and I'll be sure to link it to you. But yeah, I give more insights on how you can find a niche and how you can make sure that that niche is for you. So finding a niche gives insight as to what type of content you want to post, along with what insights you want to post about your personal brand or business. It gives the viewer insight of what you're all about, really. So here's the next step. You want to set goals. What do you want for making content? Do you want to grow a personal brand? Do you want to monetize your stuff? Do you want to be an influencer in the space? Do you want to educate people? Do you want to inform people? Do you want to sell someone something? What's your end game here? You have to determine your end goal or mission when creating content. Otherwise, you're just making content for the hell of it. Like obviously, content creation is fun. It's a good hobby to have. It's a great skill to have. But at the end of the day, if there's no purpose of making content, then what are you doing? You need a goal and make sure it has purpose. Otherwise, your content just has no purpose to it, and you're just making content for the heck of it. And trial and error is key. That's something that you can consider, and I'll elaborate a little more on that later. Step 3, you want to make it clear that on what type of content you want to make with the viewer. So it's kind of crazy that I found this stat, but do you know that half of consumers wish that brands tell them what type of content to produce? It's actually pretty interesting. You want to make sure that the type of content that you make is clear to the niche and audience that you're targeting. The point of UGC content and organic content is to be authentic and real, but you also have to be transparent. Otherwise, the viewer is not going to know what to think of your content, and they're just going to think that, they're just posting some random stuff, and, they're most likely going to scroll down and watch the next video. So you really want to communicate to the viewer, whether it's through your actions or verbally saying what you do, in order for the viewer to really understand what you're all about. Step 4, focus on community and building a following. You can't do well with this type of content unless you find a way to be interactive with the audience. Call to actions can help, but they can only do so much. But if you have a community, you can really allow them to stay for a long time and give more to you, whether it's more sales or something. You want to make sure you have that interactive experience with a user or your audience or a viewer. Otherwise, it's really going to be difficult for you to build a brand or any of that, because if there's no interaction or there's no way that the audience or the viewer can get value from your stuff, then there's no point in them watching your content or following you. So the more community, the bigger following you can create, as long as you're able to give the audience something to interact with you and your brand. Whether that's a product, whether that's forums, whether it's a Discord server, whether it's a course, whether it's something of value that your audience or followers can get from you, is something that can be considered something of interaction. And here's my last step. Um, Make sure to analyze your content. That's the best thing. And as I said earlier, trial and error is key. You want to be like a mad scientist. So you want to hypothesize and test. The scientific method really does help. You want to really formulate your hypothesis, really test out what you're going to do, and then execute. And let's say it performs well, you analyze what you're doing and try to continue that. And let's say it goes wrong. Well, if your content isn't performing, look at the content and determine why it isn't performing. You can't get better at content creation if you're not testing or producing content. If you're not making a good amount of output of content, or if you're not producing enough, or if you're overlooking or not analyzing your content, then how are you going to improve as a content creator or as a brand builder? You're just going to be stuck and not know what to do. So you always want to make sure to see how you can improve, because at the end of the day, no one really has the perfect content. You can be a master content creator, but at the same time, you're not, you know, the perfect content creator. There is no perfect content creator. And, you can say all this you want about, the likes of Mr. Beast, or, all these types of content creators. And even though they're masters at their craft, at the end of the day, they know that they don't make the perfect content, and they're always striving to improve and look at what they could do better. So that's something that you could definitely take advantage of. You must make, I think this one is one of the more crucial steps. You really want to make sure that you're able to analyze your content and really focus on what you're able to do. So what's next? What's next is that you put all of these steps into fruition, that you really do execute. You really do find your niche. You're able to get your goals. You're able to test out several content pieces, and you're able to analyze that and see how you can improve. Because once you do that, that compounds over time, and over time you'll be able to grow your following, build, a really good audience, a good brand possibly, and you're able to possibly make money, or be an influencer in your space. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions or concerns, you always feel free to comment or message me after watching this video. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.